COVID vaccine boosters are in the forefront this morning following the CDC endorsement of the extra shot for some Americans. President Biden saying he'll get his own booster soon, but there's still confusion about the decision making behind that rollout, and we'll get to that in a moment with the former CDC director.
Yes, that's coming up. The current CDC director, by the way, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, has signed off on the booster plan, but warns that the U.S. cannot use boosters to get past the pandemic. As of this weekend, 75% of the eligible population has had at least one shot.
But over the last 3 weeks, the rate of vaccination in the U.S. has dropped 37%. Health officials insist the top priority remains getting the unvaccinated their first shots, even as boosters roll out across the country. ABC's Phil Lipoff is following the latest developments. Phil, good morning to you.
Whit, good morning to you as well. Thousands of locations all across the country have begun to administer those booster shots, like this Duane Reade behind me on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. But as you mentioned, the vaccination rate in the nation has begun to drop. So the CDC says these boosters have now become an additional line of defense against COVID. This morning, booster shots are officially underway for up to 20 million eligible Americans. In Texas, long lines of people ready for their booster shot at this San Antonio mall. Carol Carson says the almost 2.5-hour wait was well worth it.
I think everyone should get their booster shot as soon as possible.
The CDC now recommending boosters for frontline workers, residents of long-term care facilities, people 18 and older with underlying medical conditions, and people 65 and older.
It's hard to acknowledge I'm over 65, but I'll be getting my booster shot.
While federal health officials agree boosters are important for certain parts of the population, CDC Director Rochelle Walensky says the focus is still on vaccinating the unvaccinated. More than 70 million Americans have not yet received a first shot of the vaccine.
I want to be clear. We will not boost our way out of this pandemic. Infections among the unvaccinated continue to fuel this pandemic.
Walensky says the vaccine boosters offer added protection for those breakthrough cases. ABC's daytime talk show, The View, interrupting its broadcast.
I need the two of you to step off for a second.
Okay. Anna and
we're going to bring you back later.
Have to leave.
Yeah. Yes.
Pulling two hosts from the show after learning they tested positive for COVID-19.
They probably have a breakthrough case, and they'll be okay, I'm sure, because they're both vaccinated.
Just moments before Vice President Kamala Harris was to appear on the show for an in-person interview. Taking extra precautions, that interview was then conducted with Harris in another room inside the studio. Navarro telling CNN she's since tested negative twice.
Both have come back false positive for me, and I'm waiting for another one.
And this morning, Navarro says she is feeling great. As for Dr. Walensky, she says her scientists were split at a time on whether to give frontline workers the booster shot, but she said it was never a question of yes or no. It was always a question of now or wait a bit, and she chose now. Dan?
Phil, thank you. Glad to hear Anna's doing well.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.